Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into a really powerful Hindi moral story. And it seems simple on the surface, but wow, it says so much about how fear and just pure desperation can test our most important relationships. It really gets into what we choose to believe when we're at rock bottom. Okay, so let's set the scene. We start in this village, Ramapur, and right away you can just feel the despair. I mean, the rain is relentless. It's not just a storm, it's practically a character in the story, symbolizing the family's suffering. You can almost feel their hope just washing away with every single drop leaking through that roof.
So this first part is all about setting the stage. We meet Chakravarti and Shambhavi, and they're literally trapped. They're stuck in this failing house, fighting a storm that's just as much emotional as it is physical.
And Chakravarti's words here, they're just gut-wrenching. He's not just talking about a leaky roof. He's talking about a leaky life. Their work, their crops, their whole future, it feels like it's all just dissolving in the rain, and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. And then, right when they're at their lowest possible point, knock knock. It's that classic story beat, right? An interruption that you know is going to change everything. But the real question is, for the better or for the worse? And this moment, right here, says it all. The contrast is just immediate. The second Shambhavi sees her brother, her face completely lights up. She sees family, a lifeline. But Chakravarti, all he sees is another burden, another mouth to feed when they have nothing. And boom, right there, in that one instant, you see the entire conflict of the story laid bare. Family versus circumstance. All right, moving into part 2, this is where the tension really starts to crank up. So Shambhavi's brother, Subbarayadu, and his wife are inside now, but instead of bringing relief, their arrival just throws fuel on the fire. And the friction starts with these really small things. A simple request for some jaggery milk, a totally normal comfort for someone from the city. To this family, it feels like a slap in the face. It just highlights everything they don't have. But the real poison, well, that comes from outside the house, from a gossiping neighbor. This line from the neighbor, this is the drop of poison that infects everything. She just taps into their desperation and plants this horrible, horrible idea that the person they just welcomed in isn't looking for shelter. He's looking to take advantage of them. So with that warning ringing in her ears, Shambhavi's whole perspective just shifts. I mean, this is Fear 101, right? When we're desperate, our brains are wired to look for threats. So an innocent act, a guy just looking at the walls of his old family home, suddenly looks sinister. She's not seeing her brother anymore. She's seeing a thief, confirming the fear that was planted just moments earlier. And all of this built-up fear is leading us straight to the story's explosive climax. All that suspicion that's been bubbling under the surface, fed by poverty and gossip, well, it is about to blow up in a heartbreaking confrontation.
So Chakravarti, completely fueled by his wife's panic, he doesn't even ask, he accuses. He takes that little piece of gossip about debt, weaves it into his own fears, and just throws the worst possible accusation he can think of at his brother-in-law.
And Subbarayudu's response is just pure agony. The accusation from his brother-in-law, that stings, for sure. But hearing his own sister, hearing her doubt him, that's what really shatters him. It's a betrayal that cuts way deeper than any insult ever could. This is it, the point of no return. I mean, casting your family out into the very storm they came to you to escape from, that is the ultimate act of breaking a bond. Trust is completely gone. The family is broken. But just when you think it's all over, the story flips completely on its head. Because a huge secret is about to drop, and it's going to change everything we think we know about what just happened. So here it is. The big question. Was he a thief driven by debt? Or was there something else going on, something from the family's past? As it turns out, what looked exactly like the actions of a robber were actually the actions of an heir. He finally gets to explain the truth. There was a secret passed down from his father, a message left by their grandfather. It's basically a treasure map, left for a moment of extreme crisis. A moment exactly like this one. He wasn't there to steal anything from them. He was there to find their salvation. And there it is, cold, hard, physical proof of his real intentions. The discovery of this treasure immediately proves he's innocent. And it just highlights this awful, tragic irony, right? The very guy they accused of trying to rob them was actually their only hope all along. And that brings us to the resolution. Okay, The money problem is solved. The roof can be fixed. But now, they have to deal with a much deeper wound, the wound of broken trust.
And you can just feel the weight of their mistake come crashing down on them. Their apology, you can tell, it's not just words, it's coming from this deep, painful place of shame. And it's such a powerful reminder of how easily fear can make us turn on the very people we should trust the most. And that, right there, is the entire heart of the story. The gold coins, they fixed up financial problems, sure. But the real treasure, the asli khazana, was the trust they almost destroyed forever, and the family bond they managed to piece back together. And in the end, the story just leaves us with this really tough question. Chakravarti and Shambhavi, they weren't bad people. They were just desperate. And that desperation made them see a monster where there was a savior. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How strong are our own bonds? And what would it take? What kind of storm would it take for us to start doubting the people we love the most?